So here we go, we finished basic small fuel tank and basic single engine airframe. These techs only happen the one time, so now we're going to go into harder techs. And as you can see, so this number here on the tech is how hard it is to do. The higher the difficulty and the higher the date, the longer it's going to take. So we got industrial production, industrial efficiency, and small arms. The previous industrial techs, those are still so far behind, I don't need to worry about those. We will get one more, a new infantry tech, because I don't want to run ahead of schedule too much, because we don't really have enough research leadership points to distribute into researching things ahead of time. And if you'll see here, yeah, I am playing this game on Steam, and I really ought to close that, but I want to be available. We're going to go ahead and get radio detection equipment, because that's pretty helpful. Another thing to note is that I am going to keep it at basic training. That makes my troops a little bit weaker. Oh, and there we go. France declares Popular Front, so they get the Popular Front government. Oh, we get light tank engines, so that's gonna... Now, as these tank techs come down, I'm gonna put one in artillery, and the rest are all gonna go into doctrines. But if you'll see here, we get Blum as the government, so we got the Social Democratic Party coming in here. Yeah, so that's just their benefits and stuff. Nothing unusual there from France. Oh, we get the Spanish Civil War. So, Spain went through a civil war here, essentially through traditional power structures, the church and the army and the fascists, and then a socialist and liberal democratic opposition, and that held the republic. And we are going to choose as the Soviet Union to intervene, and the Soviets did intervene, but the Italians and Germans did as well, and the Republicans ultimately lost. There were also several Americans who took part in the Spanish Civil War as volunteers, and they were called the Lincoln Brigade, and they fought on the side of the Republic. Alright, so that's going to be land techs. We're going to put it here because I want superior firepower quickly, so we need that practical to be hot. And all of our tank stuff is done, so we're going to get rid of that. And medium tank brigade is essential, so we're going to put that on there. And one more into superior firepowers, doctrine tree, the combined arms. And we'll just watch the Civil War go by, or at least I will. I think here we've gotten to the point where I can drop my home supply production to 0 and still get positive supplies per day, which will help us quite a bit in the production of these factories. Gonna have a couple coming a little late, but not a huge deal. And then a new thing in this particular expansion is that it covers a lot of random historical events that just had worldwide significance. And this one talks about the 11th Olympics, which took place in Nazi Germany. Germany won, but Jesse Owens was the most successful athlete of the games, and he was an African American who is a very interesting historical figure and who was more or less completely ignored by his home country due to his race. And he's an incredibly interesting fellow if you're looking for somebody to look up, especially if you're into like watching the Olympics and stuff. Alright, so this is a big moment for us. Our education supply and all that advances. So education is a bit hard to rush because it's going to take too long. Mechanical computing is going to take too long. So now we can really heavily invest into land doctrines, and I'm going to put that into the Blitzkrieg theory. And also one bomber tech, basic bomb. So we got one more project, and it'll go to Blitzkrieg Theory. Oh, and I need to cancel education, apparently. Alright, there we are. And we'll put one in infantry because we don't want to leave out the infantry tech doctrines. And infantry support weapons are ahead, so we'll just continue crawling along in the infantry tree. Gonna make engineer brigades. And also, because of that, we get some more tech, so we'll stay in infantry as well. Mobile warfare gives us some tactical command structure. None of those are running ahead, so we'll keep it. Tactical command structure is running a little bit ahead, but that's a huge deal. Now, here's another interesting point. The Soviets have a really hard time researching these aeronautical fighter-focused techs because there's just not a lot of practical buildup, so you can't research all of these. And I find that I like fighter ground crew and interception tactics the most because I can't really build radar and I don't fully understand what these targeting focus things do. So we're going to raise the morale of our air units. And I just try and get those when we're running ahead. So our refining techs are done. We'll get those out of here because they're really costly. And we'll put some more into land doctrines because those are important to me. Since most of the war, if it ever comes, will occur on land. Oh, and see, here's another thing that happens is occasionally you'll get random events that just occur. And we're going to go ahead and just take the 3 dissent. I don't like reorganizing my war ministry, and that means we need to invest a little bit more in consumer goods for a few days, and then the problem goes away. Now we're just, for these artillery techs, I'm mostly going to focus on anti-tank and artillery, and I'm not really going to care at all about anti-aircraft barrel, ammunition, etc. And with our radio detection stuff finishing, I'm going to throw another tech here, and we're going to get Blitzkrieg because that's incredibly important to me with a tank, hoping to have a large tank force later. So there's our aircraft machine guns finishing. And we really only need these 2 more techs to get what we want. So we're going to throw some more into land doctrines while we wait. As our basic aero engine. And we're going to put in for close air support. And raise that to the top because it's pretty darned important. There we go, medium tank brigade finished, so that's hugely important, and we're just going to throw in all these techs here and leave them running. I know most of them aren't going to get researched right away, but that's where we're going to start spilling our emphasis for pretty much the rest of the game.